Buddy sat at the hospital door every single day for 300 days. With every sunrise and sunset, he waited, his eyes filled with hope, his heart with love, but he never left. Daisy walked 100 miles through mountains, rivers, and forests, determined to find her lost owner, never once thinking of herself. And Rex? Rex guarded his owner's grave day after day, year after year, as if he knew the love they shared would never die. These dogs didn't just wait, walk, or guard. They showed us what it truly means to be loyal, no matter the cost. In a small suburban town, there was a Labrador retriever named Buddy, who had been by Tom's side since he was just a puppy. Their bond was inseparable, a silent understanding between them that went beyond words. Tom had always been the strong one, the protector, the one who took Buddy on long walks and played catch in the backyard. But that all changed one fateful winter when Tom became seriously ill, diagnosed with a rare and aggressive disease. He was rushed to the hospital, and for the first time in Buddy's life, his human was gone. Buddy, confused and frantic, waited by the front door, his tail wagging in anticipation, but Tom didn't return. For days, Buddy refused to leave the house. It wasn't until the neighbors noticed the dog's constant pacing and whining that they realized something was wrong. Tom had been gone for over a week, and Buddy had not understood. The hospital where Tom was being treated was far from their home, and Buddy had no way of knowing where his owner was. So, he did what any dog with unwavering loyalty would do. He set off, following the scent of Tom's clothes. But he couldn't find him, so Buddy did the only thing he could. He sat at the hospital's front entrance, hoping Tom would walk out. The hospital staff was initially perplexed by the sight of a dog waiting by the door day after day. They soon learned of Buddy's story, and some nurses began leaving him food and water. Buddy's persistence won them over. It wasn't long before the staff would talk to Buddy during their breaks, and some of them started leaving messages for Tom, hoping he'd see them once he recovered. Months passed. Seasons changed. And still, Buddy sat. It was 300 days before Tom was well enough to leave the hospital. He could hardly believe his eyes when he finally saw Buddy waiting by the door, tail wagging weakly as if to say, "I told you I'd be here." The reunion was emotional. Tom knelt down, tears streaming down his face, and Buddy, ever loyal, licked his face as if apologizing for the time they'd been apart. But Tom knew, deep down, that Buddy had never given up hope. They had both endured their own version of pain, but in the end, their bond had been proven to be unbreakable. Daisy was more than just a golden retriever. She was a true companion. To Lily, a woman who found solace in the comfort of her dog's presence. They had grown up together, Daisy being by Lily's side during the happiest and hardest times of her life. Whether it was long walks along the beach or quiet evenings on the couch, the two were inseparable. One weekend, Lily decided to take a hike in the nearby forest. Daisy, always eager to explore, was by her side. But the hike took a tragic turn when Lily slipped on a rock and fell, unconscious. Daisy, panicked and unsure what to do, stayed by Lily's side, nudging her gently. But it was no use. Lily didn't wake up, and Daisy, with no way of knowing what had happened, had to make a choice. In a moment of instinct, Daisy began running toward the nearest town, hoping to find someone who could help. For days, she trekked through dense woods, over hills and across rivers, fueled only by the desire to find her owner. She knew she couldn't leave Lily alone, and though she was exhausted and injured, she kept going. It wasn't until a search party led by worried family members and friends found Daisy that they understood the depth of her loyalty. When Daisy finally led them back to Lily, they discovered she had suffered a concussion and was barely alive. Thanks to Daisy's determination, Lily's life was saved. Lily was never the same after that day. Her bond with Daisy grew even stronger, and Daisy became her protector once again. They lived together for many more years, a testament to the power of love and the lengths a dog would go for the person they loved. Rex was a German shepherd who had been raised to protect his family. Henry, his owner, was a war veteran who had adopted Rex as a pup, and the two had a special bond. Rex had seen Henry through both the happiest and darkest times of his life. When Henry passed away after a long battle with illness, Rex's world was shattered. The first time Rex visited Henry's grave, the townspeople saw something that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. Rex, who had always been the picture of loyalty and strength, seemed to mourn in silence. Every day, without fail, Rex would make his way to the small cemetery on the edge of town. He would sit by the grave, his eyes watchful, his ears alert as if waiting for Henry to return. The townspeople grew accustomed to seeing Rex, always at the same spot, rain or shine. People would leave flowers by the grave, but Rex would stay in place, not moving an inch. It was as if he believed that Henry might walk through the gate at any moment, and Rex would be there to protect him. One day, a traveler stopped to ask about the dog who sat so faithfully by the grave. An elderly woman who had witnessed Rex's dedication for years explained how Rex had been Henry's protector and had never left his side, even in death. The traveler was moved by the story and left with a sense of awe at the loyalty Rex had shown. Eventually, Rex grew older and weaker, but he never stopped visiting the grave. It wasn't until one bitterly cold winter morning that the townspeople found Rex lying beside Henry's tombstone, his body cold, but his spirit unwavering. He had fulfilled his duty until the very end. Buddy, Daisy, and Rex were three dogs from different walks of life, but they all shared one thing: their unyielding loyalty to the humans they loved. In a world that often feels disconnected, these animals reminded us of the power of unconditional love and devotion. They proved that loyalty doesn't just exist in fairy tales. It lives and breathes in the hearts of those who are willing to give everything for those they care about. As we reflect on their stories, we are reminded of the profound lesson they impart. Loyalty transcends time, and sometimes the greatest acts of love come from those who cannot speak, but whose actions say everything. If these stories of loyalty touched your heart, just wait. There's so much more to come. Join us for the next video, where we'll dive deeper into the incredible bond between humans and their four-legged companions. Don't miss out on more stories that will remind you what true love and devotion really look like. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.